Alrighty, so we are recording. So I want to welcome everybody on tonight. We're very lucky to have Derek Bentley on here. And just to introduce you guys to Derek, we met on well, I think I may have seen you before at a Teamlet University, but we really met on the South Africa success trip and got to spend a lot of time with you and your wife, Claudia. And just had a really incredible time getting to know you guys. We were together on the lion walk that we did together, and it was just an incredible experience, right? Just being around the lions and the tigers and cheetahs, right? And just being able to have this experience and travel the world and get to know you guys. And you guys are just some of the best people, just the biggest hearts, and just people that I look up to so much, just as far as what you've been through and what you've accomplished, and just your example. And just I think one of the best parts about Nu Skin for me is just the quality of the people. And you guys are really like the salt of the earth. So to just share a little bit about who is Derek. If you guys want to just mute yourselves, and that way, if you have something to say, you can put it in the chat, or you can mute yourself. But so Derek's been with Nu Skin for 11 years. It'll be 11 years next month. He's a $1 million circle member, which means he's earned over $1 million in commissions in his career with Nu Skin. Derek wasn't necessarily, didn't grow up thinking he was going to do network marketing or do Nu Skin. He actually has a background in entertainment and real estate, and was a professional opera singer and actor. And then with the real estate crash, I know that was kind of what prompted you guys into needing to find a way to be able to provide for yourselves and get out of a hole that had been created through that whole real estate bust. But Derek, we're so lucky to have him on tonight because he just has this perspective. He's a lot further on in the business than a lot of us are. And what I mean by that is, he has business in 30 different countries. He's soon to be a team elite. And, he's been able to build teams of tens of thousands of people all around the world. And he's traveled all around the world as well. He's got a lot of his business in Mexico. He's been all around the world doing this business, all over Asia, all over South America. And, one thing, Derek and I, we were speaking about a week ago, we were just, picking each other's brains on what we're both doing and sharing good ideas. And we got into talk about just about personal development and about the journey that we're on. And, one of the things, I'm just remembering this, one of the things that I wrote down that I learned from you was that you said, I think it was after leaving, being with the Lions in South Africa, doing that lion walk, and you said, we all have our rite of passage in this business, and then we step into our power. And I thought it was just so profound. And so that's powerful stuff. That's deep stuff. So with that, Derek, I know you have a few things prepared for us tonight. And so I'm just going to kind of let you run the show, and you talk about, and I'll kind of ask some questions in the process. But why don't we just turn the time over to you and let you go with what you had prepared to share tonight?
Okay. Well, first of all, right back at you. My wife and I that was the highlight of our trip, getting to be with your family, actually. And the thing is that Nu Skin is an amazing miracle company. It attracts such great people. And so you guys really, I could see why people respect you guys at TEU, because your level of beingness is really high and it's really humble. And it's something that my wife and I, we're very spiritual people, and we love that. And so my wife and I are not who we are today, really, when we started the business 11 years ago. If I showed you a picture of what I looked like, you probably would not prospect me. And I say that because I looked like Bruce Dickinson. I mean, you probably would not prospect me, and I'm just saying that truthfully. And it's such a great example of, you don't know who to talk to in this deal. And you really got to talk to everyone, because you just don't know where they're at in their life. And so one thing we really connected on is the personal growth. And I mentored under somebody who apprenticed under someone who studied from Napoleon Hill directly. So it's my take on Think and Grow Rich is a little different than most people, because people will say, yeah, I read the book. And I'm like, okay, cool. So tell me your statement. They don't have one. I'll go, well, tell me the self-confidence formula. They don't have that either memorized. I'll say, okay, so what's your favorite chapter and why, etc. And they don't have an answer. So the reason is because that book is like a weight. It's like you go to the gym, you walk around the gym. Well, each chapter is like a different set of exercises. So that's like walking into a gym and, okay, I saw the gym. However, did you condition yourself on all the exercises to make your brain super conditioned? And that's just something that people don't do. We go to the gym, we eat differently, whatever it is. However, we don't condition our mind. And so something I learned to do is called the definite main purpose statement. I do it when I'm really focused. I will be doing it 5+ times daily. And so that's something that I'm going to be sharing on this chat with your team. So I think there's 3 main points I'm going to cover. First of all, the first point is we don't get what we want in life. This is not my information, by the way. The information that I'm sharing with you comes from the secret societies. It comes from the higher wisdom people who had the highest paid people in the turn of the century over 100 years ago. This is not my information. I'm just passing it on as I learned it. So number 1, we don't get what we see. We don't get what we want. We get what we see. We get what we believe. And so because the mind has one job, the job is to be right about whatever it is we're talking about. So you just need to decide what you want to be right about. And you can talk to Henry Ford, Thomas Edison about that conversation. Because whether you think you're right, whether you can or you can't, you're right. You just need to decide what you want to be right about and let that expand. Okay? So number 2, playing not to lose versus playing to win. And a lot of us are, because for those of us who are not business owners originally, in America, we're conditioned to be employees. So in Asia, they're conditioned to be business owners. But in the United States, we want to go to school, get a good job, get good grades. And then after you graduate from everything you did, you're going to, work back at the store. Okay. And then you're going to figure out how to, get into debt. That's just normal to get into debt. And that's just absurd. So that's become the culture of this country. And so that's not playing to win. Okay. That's conditioned to lose, actually. And then number 3, where I'm going to talk about vibrational intentionality. So vibrational intentionality is my favorite subject, and it's a subject I'm passionate about. It's about how to become a hot molecule. The reason why I share it is because it was hot. Being a hot molecule is what Craig Tillotson was all about. And speaking with Craig Tillotson just recently, like last year, he said that I wouldn't be able to build a business now because of my lifestyle. He is so relaxed that he's just not in a state where his vibration is really, really high as far as being able to connect with people and inspire them right away. That's a hot molecule. A hot molecule is moving really fast. So I think those 3 points I would cover. And then, so maybe back to you, what would you recommend, Nick? Or do you have some people that can ask questions? I would say, like, open it up to your team to Q&A for me.
Yeah. So first thing I want to say is we're super lucky to have Derek on here. He's got business all around the world. We're not like compensating him for being here. He's just doing this out of the goodness of his heart. So first thing I would say is take advantage of this time right now and make sure that you have a pen and paper that you're taking notes. And then and we're recording it. And
it's a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, and so also if you do have questions you'd like to ask Derek, please put them in the chat over here, and that way we'll be able to see them and talk about those as we go forward. So,
I would like to work with someone on the definite main purpose statement. And if you have a question on how to hit volumes or something like that, what to think about, I can share it too.
Okay, perfect. So I know, I'm going to grab, let's say Haley. as far as someone to work on with her definite purpose statement. She's actually written her definite purpose statement, and so she'll be prepared. So Haley, I'm calling you out. So Derek, when you're ready, just let me know. Actually, Haley, if you're not feeling good, she's kind of sick right now. So just text me. If you're not feeling up to it, then let me know, and we'll pick someone else. But do you want to do that right now, or do you want to come back to that?
We can do it now, and I can work with Haley. It's okay, you know. Whatever.
Okay,
Whatever
I sound a little funny, but I'll play along.
Yeah. Bye, Haley.
Hi, Derek. How are you?
I'm so excited to get to share what I know with you.
Okay.
Okay. So you've written your definite main purpose statement?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. And can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Okay. I wish I could see you.
I wish it won't let me.
Okay, we'll figure that out. So basically the statement is about be, do, have.
Haley, try your camera now.
Okay, there you go. Hello.
There we go. Hi.
Hi.
Awesome. Oh, you're beautiful. Wonderful.
Oh, stop. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So you've written your definite main purpose statement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long have you been saying it?
For about a month now.
Congratulations. High five.
High five.
Woohoo. Okay. And so may I ask how old you are?
22.
Nicely done. Okay. All right. I'm 52. I'm only 30 years older than you. Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So, well, basically the statement is about being excited. That's really what it's about. And it's about how to put yourself into that state where when you're saying your statement the right way, I've coached over 1,000 definite main purpose statements. I've really gone over this. And so the way to do your statement is you want to feel it. You want to feel it. So maybe if it's okay, maybe I can coach you a little bit just to give you an idea. And everybody's going to get right away the way I work.
Okay.
Okay. Does it sound fair? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Nick?
I'm ready for it.
Okay. Because I would never coach anybody on another team because of cross-lining. I just, it's not my place. However, you know, because of, you know, Nick's team and everything, of course, I'll share. So would you you don't have to do it emotionally, but share with me like your first couple sentences.
Okay, so let me go get it. I should have had it ready. But yeah, so my first couple of statements. Okay, so I am so happy and grateful now that I am receiving $10,000 per month in income from my global new skin business.
Okay, so excellent, good start. So usually what we do is we double the amount of money, whatever the most amount of money you've ever made in a month, you double it. So if that number is more than that, then just watch that number.
Okay.
Okay, so because what happens is the subconscious mind is about neurological pathways that are written on our brain. It's like the tablet. It's like the holy tablet. It's written. It's truth. And so whatever's written, we have to kind of honor that. And so it's really important that when we put a number of what we want, we don't get what we want. We get what we believe. So you don't have to tell me, well, whatever the most amount of money you ever made in your whole life, whatever that money number is, double that.
Okay.
And then put that number. So
okay.
Will 10,000 fit or no?
No.
Okay, no problem. Good. So this is not about me. It's not about a looking good program. It's not about other people. This is a very vulnerable, personal piece of information that you're sharing, and you're talking to your subconscious mind. Now, Nick will work with you on mirror work, which I love. And I'm a huge believer in mirror work, okay? Saying it to yourself. So what I'm going to work with you right now is on what we choose to say. Okay, so number one, we make adjustment on the number so we can believe it, okay? Because that's the main thing. You have to feel it right here. Actually, you feel it right here in the solar plexus. And when you say it right, this is my cup. The first time you say it, it's like there's a cup right here, and you say your whole statement, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever. And I've done this so many times that it's like this. Trust me, it's okay. But when you really say it, it's like the first time you say it, it's like, you maybe hit it on a few sentences, but the rest of the sentences you just gloss over. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
So I'm inviting you not to gloss over anything. You're going to go line by line by line. And as you say it, you're going to say it so you believe it. So then my second thing is when you pick the number of the money that you want to make, now that we've agreed that it's twice whatever value you've done, then you want to break it up in chunks so you could see it. Okay. So if in my mind it's $50,000 monthly, okay, I want to see 5 stacks of $10,000 bills, 5 stacks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then I have to feel really good about what that's going to do for me. So, and this is really detailed work, but I would invite you to write down, this is recorded. So all of the things that you're going to do once all of your bills are paid, what is that money going to go towards? Who is it going to go for? What charity are you going to give some of that money? How good are you going to feel once you have that?
Okay. Are we writing that down?
So Nick, you can start to see that every sentence is super loaded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, however, it's getting clear how we feel. So step by step, and as you say it, you take your first step. It's like stepping into cold water, and then you're like a little unsure, but then it starts to get warm. Okay.
Hey, Derek, question here. So they're saying, is the amount that you put in your definite purpose statement, is that amount you've made with Nu Skin or overall with just in general in your life?
Okay, so I would say it's the amount in general in your life. Okay, that's what I would say, because what you're really talking to is yourself. You're talking to your subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill used to say, now he would talk to himself with vigor. Subconscious mind, I want this. I need this now. So when he needed the title to his book, he needed it now. And he says, I need you to work for me right now. I have no more time to wait. I need it now. So he had the urgency of now on when he was saying something. And when you really come from that place, I need it now, then you're going to get it. So there's a certain urgency that is added to that. It's not just, oh, when I get it. It's you're saying it. So to answer your question, yes, it's in your life double what you believe you've ever made. Okay. Typically in Nu Skin, we have these lofty numbers because this is a crazy business. You make good money. Okay. However, what we want, what is simple is easy to replicate. So let's be honest and in integrity as leaders. You know, Nathan is all about, hey, don't make it up. Don't lie. Just tell people the truth. Truth is enough. The truth is enough. Okay. So and when you should feel relaxed and you should feel, you should feel good about that when you say your number, whatever it is. Okay. Does that hopefully that answers that question?
Yep. Perfect.
More, bring it on. We did the first sentence.
I'll let you know as they keep coming. Go ahead.
Okay. So next thing is happy and grateful. Okay. So the vibration of, I'm going to throw this out there, but I would add lucky. That's my own thing. Okay. But you definitely want to be happy and you want to be grateful. And when people ask you, how are you doing? You know, what do we normally say?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, but that's a lie. So that's not what we normally, that's like if I say, oh, okay, you must be making a ton of money. You must be doing really, really good in your life. Wow, you're doing so amazing. People say the opposite. They go, well, not really. Or how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. You know? But do we ever say, oh, I'm really happy?
No, I never do.
What if you were? I was paralyzed 12 years ago. I was paralyzed. I was on my stomach for 6 months. And on my stomach for 6 months, I was paralyzed. I broke my neck. And I reinvented myself totally. So I'll show you, I'll get Nick pictures of what I looked like before, and I'm not kidding you. I looked like a heavy version of Bruce Dickinson with a beard. You would not talk to me. Okay? So seriously, it was kind of crazy. So what does it mean to be happy? What makes you happy? What does your heart love to do, Haley? What makes you sing? What do you love?
I like
walking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love it. I mean, I just like making people feel like good in their skin and good with themselves. And
What do you like doing? Do you like going to the mountains? Do you like going hiking?
Yeah, I like going to the mountains. I like going hiking. I like doing yoga. I like painting.
You like painting?
Yeah, I like listening to music, creating music, creating content, playing with pictures, taking.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm all those things. That's what I do. I'm an artist. Okay. So I'm from Hawaii. I'm originally from Hawaii. So those things should be in your statement. Like, I do this regularly, and I feel like I'm on cloud 9 every day. That it's about connecting with what we love in our heart. There's a secret reason why I'm sharing this information with you right now. When you connect with your heart, you connect with God, you connect with your heart, you connect with what makes you feel good every day, you know what's going to happen? You're going to actually feel good. And you're going to feel such a high vibration, you will attract people who feel good too. The other stuff of I want to make is more of an idea. I want to make people beautiful. I want to do this. I want to do that. Those are ideas. What we want to do is we want to connect with our heart, and we want to come from there. That's our come from. So whatever it is you love to do, those are the people that you'll be attracting into your deal. And when your team shows up, it's so fun because it's like a whole bunch of you in the same spot.
It's like my goal.
Yeah. Okay. What's your next sentence?
I effectively accomplish my daily habits that bring me success.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
So that's from the template, Derek. That's the template that's in the 90-day success.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, I saw that. So what you want is, what does that look like? What does a clear mental picture of that look like to your mind? Okay. Just take notes. You're not going to answer that right now. Okay. You just want it the same way we did the first sentence. You're going to do every single sentence. You're going to break this down, and you're going to surgically identify everything that makes you feel good in each statement. And if it doesn't make you feel good, then you need to then what I was taught to do is I was taught to go, and I say it, and then I wait. And if I don't feel anything, I just wait. And then it'll start to tickle, and then it'll start to come to me. And as it comes to me, I start to get this vision of what makes me feel good. So I don't know what that looks like for you. However, whatever it is, you're going to feel good each step of the way. This is how to beingness in your life happy. You're being happy. You're being grateful. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to the next sentence.
Okay.
Are you with me?
I'm with you. I'm with
Okay. Right.
Okay, so I experience joy knowing that what I'm doing is being of service to myself and others. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, pause. Do you believe in God or no?
What?
Do you believe in God or the universe?
The universe.
Okay, good. So I'm being of service to the universe, myself, and others.
Okay, I'm being of service. Okay. Next sentence.
This is a business of it's a service deal. It's life. That's just life. Once you get clear what your service is, then you're in a correct cycle.
Oh, I like that. Okay. All right. Next sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
I am a diamond executive with a growing organization full of motivated, ambitious leaders who are determined to change others' lives.
You're a what now? A what?
Okay. Sorry, I'm super sick. So I am a diamond executive with a growing organization full of motivated, ambitious leaders who are determined to change others' lives.
Okay, awesome. So when you say that, that's exciting. So you have a clear mental picture of what the diamond executive looks like. You have it mapped out and you see it. Okay. So what I say in my statement, so you're going to continue that. That's great. It's just what you see and how you feel. Like for instance, when I say my statement and I say that, I attract, I attract, these super powerful, energetic, hot molecule butterfly leaders all around the world. What I really see are people who are in their power. And I see it looks like this big ball of light, like an atomic bomb, but it's a light of love. So I see that, and I see each leader, they're in their power, and they just attract millions of people. And it's not millions, it's like millions. It's like they just attract people from all around the world. Their bigness is so powerful. I had a blue diamond come into my team, become a blue diamond in my business in 1 month. And she has 10,000 devotees around the world. And she's a female Lama. She carried Mother Teresa to her grave. This is a true story. And I didn't know her, but she came to my business. She lives in Oregon on a lion tiger sanctuary. She has 17 lions and tigers. She's all, I don't need the money, but I want to end world hunger. So who wants to help me end world hunger? And then she had 10,000 people on the phone. Blue diamond, boom. So it's like, we want to be open to miracles where we don't necessarily know exactly what it looks like. So leave a little room to be open for the miracle. I would even write it down. Miracles happen every day. I have no idea how. However, I'm so grateful. So I'm happy and grateful for the miracles. And I would write that down. I feel so lucky. Miracles and lucky, big deal. Mm-hmm.
Next sentence. So, it brings me joy that I am able to help other people escape the rat race and live a life of freedom.
Okay, good job. Good job. Okay, so Nick, I apologize, but I'm going to give coaching, okay?
Great.
I understand what you're saying. Totally.
Okay.
So I'm going to share a story. When I lost $2 million of real estate, I used to say, I'm so proud that I don't work with bad people. I'm so proud that I don't work with bad people. Guess what? I attracted some really bad people. And this guy even served me papers in our church. And what's funny is that he lied. And he ended up getting a divorce, leaving the state. It was a real estate deal that went really bad. And I used to say that with pride. So what I'm sharing with you is that we get when we tag, so don't see a pink elephant on the beach. Don't see it. Okay? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Don't see a pink elephant doing pirouettes on the beach. Don't see that. Are you following me?
Yes.
So what we want to do, Haley, is you want to not focus. That's a contradiction. And we were taught to think like this. So, and I clearly understand where you're coming from, respectfully. What we want to do is there's the black page, the black screen of the mind, the negative stuff that you want out of the rat race, but you're focusing on the rat race. And at the same time, you're focusing on the other. So what I would do is I would just drop rat race, circle that, cross it off, and you want to focus on liberating people, because it's the feeling that you're going to feel very differently when you say just the second one. You're only focused on that. Does that make sense? Is this an integrity with how you feel right now? Do you feel a difference? I want you to think to yourself, rat race, rat race, rat race, rat. How do you feel?
I feel stressed.
Yeah, but if you say, I'm liberating these people, or they're free, how do you feel? You're going to feel like Joan of Arc or something. Like
yeah.
So this is what I'm sharing with you. This is years of building and losing teams, years of building business and losing business. I filed bankruptcy once, that's plenty. Nobody ever wants to do that. And I'm so grateful. Walt Disney, I think, filed bankruptcy 3 to 5 times. So this is a journey to wealth. And it really matters what we think. Stay on the positive, circle anything that's negative. Okay, just circle it and then drop it. So you're only focused on what you want to create. Don't worry about the rest. It doesn't matter.
Hey,
Is that
Derek,
fair?
I want to say,
Yeah.
just everybody listening, you should pull out your own definite purpose statement and be following along and be listening to these recommendations from Derek. So back to you.
Yeah. So that's awesome point. And so that's okay. You know, listen, you guys, okay. My uncle is Stephen Wynn's business partner. All right. He's the guy who built Las Vegas. My uncle's a very wealthy man. He's also a very strict businessman. So he does not accept gossip. He will fire you at the job if you're speaking negatively, and he will make a point of embarrassing you. Now, he's really old school. He's acutely aware of how we think. So it's something that became important to me, you know, growing up. Or if I did something that was not positive, I would get my ear pulled in my business, in my family. So, okay, Haley, let's go to the next one.
Okay. So I am overjoyed and grateful that as a result of my hard work, I am now living in a 2,000 square foot condo overlooking Grant Park in downtown Chicago and driving a Tesla Model S.
Okay, cool. One of my favorite cars. I have a Tesla in my Model 2. So, all right. So here we go. So the first one is, explain the first part of the sentence again.
So I am overjoyed and grateful that it was as a result of my hard work.
Okay, so as a result of my genuine effort, different than hard work, as a result of my genuine effort, I am now experiencing, okay, blank. So it's a little redundant. You already said joyful. You already experienced the feeling of joyful and gratefulness already. So you don't need to do that because you did it already.
But can I say, though, at the end, I actually say that as a result of my genuine efforts, I am now experiencing blank. So then I would have been saying that twice then? No.
So share with me exactly what you mean.
So if I were to say there, like instead of saying I am overjoyed and grateful, blah, 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 and saying I am now experiencing, you know, as a result of my genuine efforts, I'm now experiencing, I already have that line at the end of my statement.
So are you saying at the very end you want to say it instead?
No, I'm saying I already say it there. It's already there, so I can't put it before it because then it's already going to repeating itself. I already have that in my definite purpose statement.
I would say because it's a replication that you're doing, that I'm happy and grateful to be experiencing, or I'm happy and grateful at the very top. That's fine. You don't need to repeat grateful. You know, I don't think you need to. You can if you want. All right. However, just be careful of things that you repeat throughout. Sometimes people have 2 or 3 times. And the reason is because they didn't experience it the first time. So they're trying to redo it again.
Huh.
When you, yeah. It sounds weird.
No, it doesn't.
When you do it the way that I'm sharing with you, you're going to feel amazing. When I do my statement, I'm on the beach and I say it like this. My hands are raised. And I'm like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm experiencing this. I feel this. And you want to feel like you won the lottery. Now, all the surfers at the beach are used to me doing this. They used to think I was warning them for sharks and stuff. Now they're, girl, that's that crazy guy on the beach. So I'm good with it. And you want to feel this state like you just won the lottery, like you feel amazing. Like this, you know, because this lines up all your chakras in your whole body.
Hey, Derek, question for you that just came in. So obviously, you know, a lot of us, it's like we have this idea of what it is that we want. And I think that's one of the hardest parts to this is getting yourself to feel it, to feel how you would feel if you'd already achieved those goals, right? So someone here said, how do you become, and this is from Indira, how do you become and stay so positive when things aren't going well, personally, financially, and health-wise?
Okay, great question. How do you stay positive? Okay, so we learn to focus what we put our attention. So, because you gave a loaded question about health and, you know, about surrounded by people who are negative. First of all, you got to this may sound weird, but you're going to do a family-dectomy, friend-dectomy, business-dectomy. You're going to cut off everything around you that's negative. You have to put yourself in an environment that is that's incubator. It's got to be safe. And you have to be in a protected environment where it's okay to make mistakes. So how do you protect yourself? So one of the things that I do, so let me give you an example, okay? So bless you. So, so Nick, so say something to me right now, okay? Like, oh God, that guy, that Derek guy, he's so weird or whatever, all right?
That Derek guy is just so weird. I can't stand it.
So what I would say to myself is I'd be like, does that belong to me? That doesn't belong to me. That's his shit. Oh, okay. Excuse me. That belongs to him. That doesn't belong to me. No problem. That's not my problem. That's his stuff. So it's okay. So sometimes we're in an environment because we're empathic. We pick up the energies. You move through an environment, or like you're in a car that's really loud. Boom, boom, boom. I'm in LA. It's insane over here. So we switch things in our minds. So for example, if I'm on the road and there's a car next to me, and you guys know what I'm talking about, and the music's like super loud, boom, and I love rock and roll, okay, but it's really obnoxiously loud. I'll switch it in my mind to like something that's beautiful, or I'll switch it into my mind that's like, like love. That sounds weird. That's what I do. I switch it 180 degrees to whatever they're saying. But Giselle Sexsmith used to do something like this. Now she's in another team altogether. She's, I think, a $50 million earner. So she would say, Nick, what you said was, boy, that Derek is a really weird guy. But what I heard was, you know what? Maybe I feel really weird, and I think there's something about you that I really admire. And people just get stuck. I had a guy, I just moved into a new place by the beach, and my neighbor, I said, hey, how's it going? He's like, what do you care? To me. And I just thought, wow, I just moved in. That was kind of abrupt. And so I was like, wow, well, that's really interesting because, I apologize if I offended you. However, my friend said that you're like one of the nicest guys here. It is so nice to meet you. You just learn ways to diffuse things. And as a leader, you're going to be doing this all the time. We're controlling how we feel, because it's never about the other person. It's about how we choose to control the way we feel, because we attract what we are. Okay.
So Derek, let me go a little further with that. So as far as with business, I think with this business, there's ups and downs, right? And, when things are going well, you're on the top of the world. And sometimes maybe you have somebody quit, or you get some rejection from someone close to you, or you start feeling like, your business starts going the opposite direction. And I feel like, it becomes what you get what you focus on, right? And so if you're focused on your business falling apart and those negative emotions and energy, it tends to just be a downward spiral and downward cycle versus, getting yourself into that positive mindset, having a rock solid belief, getting at that higher vibration, attending events, things like that, right? That gets you at that higher level that causes you to move forward in a positive direction. But for people that are maybe having a difficult time with their business, where things aren't going the way that they want them to, what can you tell them about the importance of what's going on in here and how that impacts what's actually showing up physically in their business?
So what I would share with you, those are all exactly valid points. I would say, honestly, I was not coachable when I started this business. Okay. I was not coachable at all. And I became coachable through pain. So, and unfortunately, that's kind of how that's how life works. It's not network marketing. It's any vocation. So what I would say is that, number one, have a responsibility mindset. If I'm focused on a problem, then I'm not doing the business. I'm not building. If I'm focused on a problem, or if I'm focused on something that somebody else did, or someone in my downline that's upset with me, or someone in my upline that did something weird, or something in my sideline that did something weird, I can promise you network marketing is a candy store of sticky issues that are going to distract you. And whatever it is, you need to, Nathan says it best, get focused. Okay, you get focused and consistent. So it's a responsibility mindset. It's what can I do better? That person, if I'm so upset at this person, or I'm so upset because I just lost a blue diamond, which I've lost several in my business, okay? And so I understand what it's like to have your money go from like this to this to this to this. So what happens is, something that I learned by watching the Golden State Warriors, because I'm a huge fan of basketball, and so is to don't get too high and don't get too low. And Craig Bryson, Brett Bryson, Craig Bryson, Nathan, they would all say, think flat. They would write on their board, they would write on a piece of tape and they put it around their house, think flat. And so what can I do better that will allow my business to grow? So what can I improve? And I would look at improving just 1% a week. Don't worry about it. There was a study done, and Nathan did that talk. Did you hear that talk by Nathan where they grew 1%, the guy? And so
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it really is, it's not about the other people. It's this, okay? There's 3 fingers pointed back at me. I'm pointing at the other, one points up to God or the universe. The other one's pointing at the other guy. But there's 3 fingers on 3 things I need to change to get better. So how can I be better recruiting? How can I be better following up? How can I be better attracting people? How can I be better closing? How can I be, and you just focus on, and then you write those things down on a list of paper, write them down. Then look at your upline, and whoever's good at doing whatever those things are, ask them to consult. Can I consult with you about being a better closer? Can I consult with you about how to handle losing someone in my business? Can I consult with you on this? And you've got so many people in your upline that are successful. They can coach you on those individual issues. And one at a time, your facets will get clean, where then you will sparkle like a diamond. But we don't begin like that in the business. We start off, we've never really looked in the mirror before. So we don't, we're in an employee mindset where we're blaming the boss, blaming other people. That's the culture. Business owner is a different mindset. What can I do better? How can I perform better? Okay, even coach, John Wooden. What can I do better to be the best player from head to toe? That guy did a better job than me. You know what? High five. I respect that. I respect that in them. I might not like them, but I respect that they did that. And I need to up my game. It's responsibility. I'm sorry to give you that hard pill to swallow. However, in leadership, that's the deal. Because if I don't do it, my team won't do it. That means I'm totally cool with being uncomfortable constantly. It's not about being comfortable. This is about not knowing how to do it and doing it anyways. It's about being scared and doing it anyways. And every leader will tell you that. And I went through that. You guys go through that. We walked with freaking lions in Africa. We all felt scared at the same time. It was like, and we did it anyways. And it was really exciting. And so it's like, be scared, do it anyways. Don't know, do it anyways. And just be okay with growing a little bit at a time. You don't have to grow everything all at once. Be nice to yourself and do the things you love weekly. It's critical that you root in yourself what you're passionate about, what just makes you so happy. And that's the first thing that I was sharing with Haley. One of my mentors' daughter's name is Haley, so I love that name, Haley. So it really matters that we're in touch with who we are, because your beingness as a leader is just going to be in who you are. It's not about, leadership is not grandstanding. It's not this. Leadership is clarity and influence. When you have a clear vision, you can just share it as we're sharing it right now. And people will get it. They'll get it. Okay. So maybe that answered a few of those questions. It's a lot.
That was great.
I was paralyzed 12 years ago. Okay. I had spinal surgery. I have 2 discs in my neck. I understand what it's like to be health. I had pneumonia. I've been through all kinds of crazy things. And the question I would ask myself is, when I get out of this, I'm doing this, or I can't wait to do this. So it was always seeing myself what I want to do to get out of it. Like, that's not going to stop me. You know, I'm going to do this. Okay. And also, you want to focus. It's what you focus on. It's not with the volumes and stuff. When we're building our business, oh, I need 3,000. I need 2,000. Okay, and my volumes. I'm building my business. Don't focus on the volume. You want to double it. That's why I intentionally doubled. Okay, so you want to double whatever it is. I had an event in a business years ago. I was selling kettle corn when I was paralyzed. And I was at the like Indy 500 kind of a thing here in California, and I had to make like $4,320 to break even. I was so stressed about making $4,320 that literally I made at the very end of the event $4,321. I made $1 on the whole event because I was so focused on that number. I had to make that number. Nathan Rick says, I needed this number in the end of the year. Guess what he got? That number. We get what we see. And it's the first thing I shared. So don't see that. See more. And then ask yourself, how can I get that? Okay.
Can you elaborate on that, Derek? We get what we see. What do you mean by that?
What it means is that, you know, like I remember, you know, I was driving with Alan one time up to TEU, and this is coaching years ago. He said, so Derek, tell me, what do you see? I'm going to give you coaching right now. I said, oh, wow, I see the Mexico team exploding. I see our teams in Northern California. They're doing awesome. He's like, well, what about LA? I'm like, well, I don't really see that. I see Mexico's doing great. He goes, that's your problem. I said, what do you mean? I don't understand. He goes, Derek, we get what we see. Yeah, but Alan, we have to drive in 3 hours traffic. By the way, I don't wish any of this upon anybody. It's like for us here in LA, the traffic is brutal. Okay, it's like insane. So that doesn't matter. What matters is that we decide we're going to lead. We decide we're going to be the hot molecule. We decide that miracles are going to happen every day. And when we do that, we will attract that. So when it comes to, so am I addressing this a little bit about what you see? You want to change what you see. Don't be right about how bad things are. Don't be right about how tough it is. Don't be right about how it's such a hard business. Don't be right about that. It's like, now what, so what? Why don't you be right about how miracles happen every day? Be right about how lucky you are. Be right about that. And how do you do that? You feel it. The way I'm going through the statement, believe me, Haley, I swear, when you finish the statement, you're going to feel like you won the lottery because you layered a layer of feeling incredible. And what happens is the cup, like I said right here, it feels like a cup when you say it. So the first time you say it, I dare you to say it 5 times. Because the first time you're going to feel like, second time you're going to kind of feel it simmering. Third time you're going to feel your cup filling. I guarantee you by the 4th time, you're going to feel like your cup is overflowing with happiness. And it feels exactly, this is the exact process I go through. It feels like my cup is, that's how I know if I'm on or not. So if I feel like, yeah, I'm making, $10,000 a month, bullshit. So guess what happens? You say, I'm making $10,000 a month, bullshit. You do that every single day for a year, 365 times 2, 720, whatever that is, 7, 30, 40, 60. Okay. So you just told yourself that bullshit. Well, guess what? You're going to stop saying the statement because you're like, that thing's bullshit. Opposed to, if you do it the way I'm sharing, you will not feel that. You will feel, I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. Things come to me from I don't know where. Okay. So I would invite all of you to be open to the vibration of luck. That is the biggest gift I can give to you. And because, Nick, this is essentially a question of what you see. You want to see that miracles happen every day and that you're the luckiest person in the world. By the end of your statement, Haley, you're going to be like, I'm the luckiest woman alive. I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. I'm amazing. You're going to feel that. And when you feel that all the time, all of a sudden you're going to attract people. You're going to be at Starbucks and you're going to be like, hey, so what do you do? Oh my God, I'm like this lucky person. And I doubled my income this year, and I'm looking for a new opportunity, and I'm thinking about doing new skin. And you know what? Are you doing new skin? Maybe I'll sign up with you. That's what it looks like. It happens to me. Not kidding. It's unbelievable to the point where it's like, it's so, the law of expectation. You get what you believe. So I would share the vibration of luck. That's the biggest gift. That was taught to me by the man who was Howard Hughes' personal aircraft engineer. He didn't have phones. He didn't have computers. His Howard Hughes' mom taught him how to be lucky. He goes, do you want to be lucky or do you want to be smart? I was paralyzed. I was serving hamburgers, working graveyard shifts when I was 40 years old. True story. Okay. He said, son, what are you doing here? I'm going to give you the biggest tip of your life really fast. And I said, okay, sir, please give it to me because I'm just through the floor right now. He said, son, you're 40 years old, young man. I'm going to teach you one thing. You want to be smart? You want to be lucky? I said, sir, I want to be smart. That's your problem. This man is almost 90 years old. He said, I was taught how to be lucky by Howard Hughes' mom. Do you know who he was? You'll figure that out later. You'll learn about him. Nick will tell you about who he is. One of the wealthiest people on the planet. Okay? He is the reason he changed the whole aeronautical industry. This one man. So he taught me about the feeling of luck. So I started telling myself, you know what? I'm lucky. I don't know how. I'm going to double what I make today. I don't know how. I'm going to double what I'm going to do. I'm lucky. I get the best parking place. Everybody brings me food. Everybody brings me money. I just am so lucky. I just live at the beach. I have no idea how that's going to happen, but I live at the beach. I live 150 steps from the sand.
So Derek, Bridget here asked, would luck be the same as blessed? You know, if she were to say, I'm so blessed, would that be similar?
Blessed is great, Bridget. You know, blessed. So you have the vibration of God, you have the vibration of that high, super high vibration, right? Luck is different. Because luck, blessed is like, I'm so blessed because you can justify it. It's like but luck is weird. Luck is like, it's not justifiable. It's just, you just have to learn how to believe it, you know? So I don't believe it's the same for my, and I have a spiritual practice and I'm very, my relationship with God is very clear. However, I believe for me, the feeling of luck is different. And it's a muscle that you build. And blessed is fine too. If blessed works with you, that's great. Okay. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. But the vibration of luck is very specific, you know. Yeah. Play with it. Keep blessed. Don't get rid of blessed. You definitely keep in that. I always say blessings. Every statement, you know, at the end, I sign blessings.
So Derek, so for me, in my experience with Nu Skin, right? So I struggled for several years, you know, for like 5 years, ups and downs. And really for me, it was, I started hearing Team Elites, people saying, hey, 80% of success in this business is your mindset. And I started, you know, learning, getting turned on to personal development and reading and learning these types of things. And so for me, it was a process, right? And just trying to read some of these comments and things here. So for people that are thinking, okay, how do so what I was getting at was, as far as you saying what you see, it's what you focus on. It's what you choose to believe, right? So for me,
focus on expands. Yeah,
because for me it was, you know, I always wonder what's the secret, like how like what's going to be the secret that's going to make me successful. And what I realized is it was making a decision, you know, that I was all in. Number two was belief. And it was like, I got myself in this mindset where it was like, I locked out any ounce of doubt or disbelief. There was nothing in there. It was only focused on my goal and where I'm going. It was like absolute belief that it was going to work for me. And I didn't like, both of those require us to believe in something we can't see, right? Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. You're believing in something you can't see. And so then from there it was just taking massive action. And so, so to kind of like what you're saying, you know, you get what you see, right? So you're saying you get what you focus, that's what you choose, right? Because you are aware of your current results. right? So everybody hears, like some people asked a minute ago, how did you get New Skin to explode in Mexico? I've heard people say New Skin's hard. You know, it's really hard down there, like with the prices and just the people. And, you know, I've heard people in different markets in Latin America saying Chileans are just, they're so skeptical, right? And they're, and all these things, right? These reasons of why it potentially couldn't work out, right? So you talk a little bit, we're coming up on close to an hour. So I think we'll kind of start winding down.
We could do another part too. I mean, that's fine.
We could for sure. But could you talk, so just a little bit about how obviously like we're aware of our current results, but we have to obviously we're aware of that, but we have to focus on what we want despite maybe our current circumstances, right?
I'm going to answer your question. If I took a line and I drew a line on a page, okay, like this, I don't know if this is backwards or not for you, but on the left side will be the negative. Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's a Ben Franklin close. The left side's negative, the right side's positive. I want all your people to take a piece of paper and tell me all the reasons that New Skin is so tough and hard. Write them all down. Be in integrity with your feelings and write them down. When you do, you're going to have a long list on the left. Okay. Then I want you to write down all the reasons why you're so lucky and all the reasons why your business is so huge. I guarantee you there's only going to be a few words here. So we're expanding this lower vibration. And when we day in, day out, don't say our statement when we say our statement the correct way, all you're focused on is, I ask people to take this sheet, okay, so I coach them, and then I tell them, take the left side, tear it off. That's all you're allowed to see, the positive side. This is your statement. This is all we're allowed to see. We're not allowed to see the other stuff. So got to look back at here. We need to switch. You said it very clearly that you decided. Number one, you just have to decide. And it's important that they feel no fear, no doubt. Zero fear, zero doubt, zero disbelief. You cannot even have 1% of doubt and disbelief or fear. You must be 100%, and it's going to happen. I have no idea how. When we're in that space, we are operating in the space of faith. When we're moving in faith, we're expanding faith. And this is the space that leaders at a very high level live. We live in this space because when you're with us on a daily basis, you will see how we handle problems. You will see how it's nothing. It just rolls off our back like nothing. And you look at us like, wow. And the reason is because we have bigger things that are coming our way. Okay. And so we're grateful for the obstacle because that's the blessing. But we have to decide what it is that we want and only see what we want and have zero doubt. Okay. Nick knows my goal. I'm not saying it on this call. He knows my personal goal. And I am 1,000,000% on it, you know, on something I am pursuing right now in my life. It's a big, hairy, audacious goal. Okay. And so in order to attract that, I say in my statement until I'm in such a high vibration that, simulate all 5 of your senses in your statement. You need to stimulate all of them. Touch, taste, sense, smell, hear, everything. You experience, Tony Robbins describes it as immersion. So you're just swimming in the joy, swimming in the love, swimming in the exuberance and the feeling of accomplishing what it is that you want. When I say I make my money that I'm making in my statement, I vision myself in a shower of money. I'm standing on a floor of gold coins. And I'm seeing my kids in there with me playing around, giggling and laughing and grabbing the money. And that just makes me feel like, wow, it's so cool. So just to give you an idea, you want to experience step by step. Don't gloss over the statement. Because then it's like a samurai sword. It'll actually hurt you. In that you'll be right about how much bullshit it is. It's just further from the truth.
So one thing I want to just point out to everybody listening is that repetition is so important in doing this, right? So Derek's here. He's explaining to us how he's able to utilize his 5 senses and get himself to feel all these emotions, and that's because he's been practicing this for years. when you first start off and when you first do, and if Derek, if you want to take a quick second and just talk about what is mirror work for these people. So I've shared with you guys that I look at myself in the eyes in the mirror, and I say my statement out loud, and I look at myself and I say it to myself. And that's a big part of how we change our self-image, of how we see ourselves and what we actually believe is possible for us. And so, the reason why Derek's so good at doing this now is because of that repetition, because he's practiced doing it. And so for you guys, and Derek said here that he does his definite purpose statement 5 or more times per day. And the first time you say it, maybe you're getting some thoughts, your subconscious mind saying like, what are you talking about? You're not making 5,000 or 10,000 per month, or who do you think
that's
you
bullshit.
are, right? Exactly. And so, but it's that repetition over and over. It's like Napoleon Hill, right? When Andrew Carnegie said, to basically that he should tell himself that he would not just match Andrew Carnegie's achievements, but that he would dramatically outperform him, right? As far as impact on the world. When he first went to do that and say that to himself, he could barely whisper it, right? Then after a week, he could say it out loud. Then after a month, he could scream it at the top of his lungs. He believed it, and he felt that he was going to do that. So the same thing for me. It's like if I'm not in this practice of waking up every morning and doing a gratitude exercise and doing my affirmations, my mirror work, looking at myself and doing my definite purpose statement and self-confidence forming, writing my goals down and visualizing it, that process of doing that, it gets me out of the mindset or the feeling of doubt and disbelief and anxiety and fear and what if this doesn't work. And it gets rid of all of those negative emotions, and it gets me just feeling bulletproof and so confident and so fired up to go out there and go after my goals and to talk to people and to build my business. It's, it's this process of taking out all the resistance that's inside of you. And once that happens, it's so much easier. It's just like a hot knife through butter, right? Just being able to execute and take action on your goals. And so, Derek, if you have any thoughts on that, and then Katie Mon, we'll just take this one last question, then just let you share any final thoughts. But she just said, what's your advice for when all the personal development becomes overwhelming and leads to feelings of anxiety instead of feelings of freedom?
So tell me about that. Exactly. How do you mean?
Katie, are you here? Do you want to unmute yourself? I'll unmute you.
Yeah. Can you?
Go ahead. We hear you.
Okay. So for me, I get super overwhelmed just with all of the things to do. We've only talked about the definite purpose statement and the self-confidence formula, but I've tried meditation. I've tried vision board. I've tried affirmations. I've tried putting it all together and exercising and taking all this time for me. And it ends up being this 3-hour process. And I have 2 young kids at home, and it gets it's so overwhelming sometimes that I just don't want to do it because it takes so much time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So first of all, you're a mom.
Yes.
And you're a woman.
Yes.
So, and you have how many kids?
2.
Okay. So this is switching gears a little bit. This is men and women process information very differently. So women and men, men, if they're in a house and there's kids and there's stuff everywhere, guys are they'll be fine with it. Okay. Women, on the other hand, are going to be okay, I got to clean the room. I got to clean the kid. I got to clean the job. I got to go get the money. I got to clean the dishes. That's got to be clean. That's not clean yet. Then I got to do the laundry. Then I got to do this. Then does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Am I speaking untruthfully or?
No, you're very spot on.
So men don't know that. Number one, they're not because they think women think like them. They go, what do you mean? Everything's fine. And it's not fine, So the thing is, it's a communication issue, okay, about with yourself. So number one, what helps is a checklist, okay? So it gets overwhelming when there's all these things and they've not been addressed bit by bit by bit, okay? Because once you can check them off, you can feel I got that done. So number one, now, this is a new habit. If you review what needs to be done tomorrow and you write it down the night before, you get clear. You've got these 5 things that need to be addressed, I promise you, you wake up in the morning, you look at that, okay, you will feel a sense of calm that will take anxiety down 50%.
Okay.
That'll help. Just that. It has nothing to do with the statement or with all the other stuff. It has to do with how we handle our thinking and our time.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Next thing is, if you invite yourself to look at the way that I was coaching to do the statement, was showing Haley how to go sentence by sentence. I listen, I promise you, I'm going to be getting text after text after text. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. How did you know? This is amazing. Because I've been doing this for 11 years. Mm-hmm. I've coached over 1,000 definite main purpose statements all over the country, all around the world. And I coach professionals. I coach Olympic athletes, doctors, lawyers, professionals outside of Nu Skin. I coach them. Mm-hmm. And they pay me to do it. That's a whole different deal. So I take it very seriously. I'm passionate about personal growth. When you address how you feel good, when you touch your vision board and you feel what it feels like to smell your new Tesla, to smell what this air feels like where you want to be on the picnic with your family or whatever it is, I don't know. When you get forensic and you slow it down, you end up feeling good. Instead of kind of skipping over in a habit of skipping over things, that causes stress.
Yeah.
So, and I understand that. I do. So one thing that will help is if you learn to do your vision board with it's a sensory thing. You experience what it feels like and you feel good to a point where you're like, okay, you look at it. All right, that's where that is in the world. Okay, I feel good about that. That's going to happen. I feel good. That's going to happen. I feel good. However, it starts with I feel good, not like, oh God, I got all this stuff. That's stress. Oh, I got all this stuff. That's stress. Oh, I got all this stuff. That's just a bunch of stress. Oh, I got more stress. Oh, then they want me to do a statement. Oh, we're being right about we're layering stress. Instead, if you could build it on good feelings, then everything else will tie together and it won't be stressful. Okay, it won't. So that's as far as your vision board and as a statement. Mm-hmm. Self-confidence formula, you're not going to understand for the first 2 years at all.
Okay.
Do not change the words. Those are pointed words by the super rich. Give yourself time to download. Okay, so first, I know there's a principle. Just a second, I realized dominant. Third, fourth, I've clearly written down different. Fifth, mm-hmm. I fully realize no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, engage in no transaction. You need to know exactly what that looks like. When you slow it down, the way I'm sharing with everybody on this is something that you will then listen. And if it doesn't make sense to you, stop. Okay. Even when your kid's crying, say, okay, God, please, miracles happen. I have no idea. Show me the way. Mm-hmm. Just leave room for the download to come into your mind. And as your baby's crying and as you're feeding and doing all the things you do as a mom, believe that miracles happen. Believe that you will be shown the way in your mind. And then it will become clear to you. Okay. So what does it mean that I never engage in a negative transaction? What does it mean that I eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all people? Mm-hmm. What does that mean? That means that I find a way how to love those that I hate. You need to find a way to feel love towards those people. I'm so grateful that, I really admire that Saddam Hussein was such a passionate man. I don't agree with what he was doing, but I admire his tenacity. I admire his strength and leadership. Would I follow him? No. However, you want to find things that you admire and respect about the people that you do not respect and like. Mm. That's what that self-confidence, that is so huge. And so as you become almost enlightened is another way, but we become clear that, wow, I really need to change the way I think and feel because this thing is making me upset every time I think about it. Mm-hmm. Instead of layering, the just glossing over things. You know, because I got my kids to think about, I got my house to think about, I got a car clean. You're with me on that part, right?
Yes, yes.
So now your next thought is, you know what? Miracles happen every day. I have no idea how. Easily and effortlessly, they just come to me. I have no idea how. Okay? Because I'm a mom, I'm busy, I am not an octopus, I'm a human being, all right? And miracles come to me all the time. And I'm going to attract other moms just like me in my business who are going to expect miracles. All of a sudden, you're going to have a mommy miracle team. And that's going to be your name on your shirt. We're the mommy miracles. And it's like, we're like so happy, you know, like the sexy single mom club or whatever they did. I don't know. It's, you know, because your team is attracted on who you are. In the end. Okay. So your teams are going to look like a reflection of you. Okay. Other people is going to be a little different. I know pretty much whose team people are on at this point because I can tell when I look at that person, I go, oh, you're on that person's team. They're like, how did you know? I'm like, you're just a mere reflection of who that person is. So of course, you know, does some of this help you?
Yes, it helps a lot because I do very much think that way. Like even when I'm sitting downstairs, like in front of my vision board at my desk, ready to go 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I think, oh crap, is my 4-year-old awake this early? Like, oh no, he's awake this early. What am I going to do now? And it just leads to all this stress. But if I do sit down and really internalize each line of those, I've never really sat down and done that. I'll just say my purpose statement. And then it's like, I've got to say it to get it done. And then I move on with my day.
You know what? I have no idea how, but miracles happen every day, all day long. And it's moving in faith. So you're tapping into a very high vibration because you cannot do it by yourself. Yeah. It is impossible. You need the mastermind to take it to another level. That mastermind is going to be, are you married or not married?
I'm married, yes.
Good. So that mastermind's your husband. Okay. And then it's going to be your babies, your kids. You're going to sit with them. Okay. And you're going to connect with your mastermind. This is going to be scary, but this is in Think and Grow Rich. You're going to connect with the mastermind of your mentors, whether it's your grandparents, whether it's Abraham Lincoln, the ones who are not alive. And you're going to talk to them and you're going to listen. And the response you get is from them. This sounds absolutely crazy. This is Think and Grow Rich. Okay. So they don't have to be alive. Now you have a mastermind of people who are all connected for your success. And then the law of expectation in time will begin to grow. Why do you think New Skin is such an amazing company? Because you've got 1 million people around the world who are like, oh, we're the most beautiful people. We're the happiest people. We're service to people. We help people. We want to be happy. You get that many people thinking the same thing at the same time, it's going to grow.
Yeah.
Okay. Believe me, when I came into this business, I was not a nice guy. I was a jerk. Okay. I walked out of my first meeting in 10 minutes. I did. And I was a very skeptical a-hole. I don't know how you say that in a nice way. I was not in a good mood. I lost $20,000 the week before. I lost $2 million of real estate. It was terrible. And I had to reinvent myself. I had never done a demo in my life. I was doing real estate. You want me to do a facial demo? So I had to become flexible, open, and surrender. As you do, you will grow, okay? It will happen. But for you, just expect miracles for now. Keep it simple. Just do that and say, I'm so lucky. I have no idea. I am so lucky. Just, I'm sharing this with you. Play with it. It's never wrong.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Derek, as far as kind of like wrapping up, we've talked about a lot of amazing things. I just want to thank you so much for your time. I mean, I think, you know, we've still got 15 plus people that are here just soaking up everything.
And I'm looking at Haley like, woohoo.
And so I think a lot of us would be happy to keep going, but just for the sake of your time and everybody else's commitments as well, I'm just curious to hear from you. What would you teach people as far as kind of final thoughts of how to now apply? Because we've been given so much great information tonight. how would you teach people to take this home, apply it to their daily lives? I mean, what would that look like on a daily basis as far as how they can start to apply this in their lives?
What you do is, that's a very great question. How you handle that is you apply it. You suck it up and you start doing it. So just take your time, write out your statement. Your statement should be no more than 2 minutes. It doesn't need to be. Bruce Lee, I have Bruce Lee's statement. His statement is like less than a minute. It's very short. So it's a clear mental picture of what you want to create. And you just, if we just focus on what makes us feel good, okay, and how our beingness, it has to be or grow, how we're going to be, what we're going to do, or that's a clear mental picture of what we're going to do. That's whatever it takes. That means no limits, nothing stopping me. Okay, I'll kill half your team if you try to follow me in LA. It's like, forget it. You want to sleep in your car because you got to go do a meeting? We do. I do whatever it takes to build my business. I'm not kidding. You have zero obstacles. It's like, seriously, as you become bulletproof, what Nick is saying. So do your statement. Fall in love with your statement. Just do that. If you just do that, your vibration will rise. As it rises, you will feel better. You will feel miracles happen. You will expect miracles. You will feel lucky. Things will come to you. Your day will be totally different. You'll be smiling more. People will smile more to you. All of a sudden, your team starts to look a little different. And then what happens? Oh, you get in a fight. You fall off the horse. Everything gets bad. Bad day. This, that. Expect it. That happens. Okay? Just when those things happen, be nice to yourself. Take a shower. If you have to take 3 showers in one day, I do. Listen, you guys, like we're warriors. It's like nothing stops us, okay, towards our goal. And so love yourself. Say your statement, believe it, say it slowly, and love yourself weekly. It's critical to learn that, did you do something that you love? I don't care what it is, whether it's being in nature in Utah, needlepoint, it doesn't matter. It's got to be something that your heart feels so good about. Maybe you're of service, reading to children in the hospital. I have no idea. Whatever it is, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel high and grateful. And then you get in this cycle of correct actions. You get in a cycle of service, a cycle of expectancy, a cycle, and things will just come to you because you do what Nick said first. You decide that you're just going to do it. Number one, you decide, and then zero fear, zero doubt. So this process will help you to do that. Okay?
Okay.
That's it. That's all you have to do. It's that simple. Don't do it.
So one thing I want to drive home, one point before we finish up, is that it's one thing to know about these concepts, and it's one thing to watch YouTube videos or listen to books and read Think and Grow Rich and to learn about these concepts. It's another thing to apply it. And, your current programming and belief systems and, what Bob Proctor would call your paradigm, right? It's going to kind of pull you back. It's going to talk yourself out of doing these actions, right? Applying this because it wants to keep you safe and comfortable and in the same position. And so what you have to do is you have to apply it, right? I mean, as uncomfortable as you feel looking at yourself in the mirror and talking to yourself and getting yourself to feel these positive emotions, the compound effect of doing that is going to create amazing, lasting change in your life so that you can be able to reach those goals that you have and make those dreams and those goals come true. So, any other final words, Derek?
Do what he said. Honestly, just do it. Have fun. Learn to have fun in your day. Seriously, have fun. Learn to have fun. Don't get too stuck in this business. I've been in that hole. I know what that's like. And, it's just honor yourself. Honor the inner voice. Okay? So as you're saying your statement, it might not come to you for a while. It took me a while to learn how to listen. And you'll know that you're doing the right thing, or you're doing, because a lot of us don't know what we want. But when Steven Spielberg describes it as a still small voice. It's a haunting voice. And it just doesn't leave you alone. It's just like right there. Hey, Derek. It's so quiet. and it just won't leave you alone. Even when you're sleeping at night, it won't leave you alone. That still small voice is the voice of God. It's the voice of the universe communicating with you in your heart. And so ask yourself the questions before you go to sleep. Do the mirror work. That's a great start. It's plenty. You don't need to do more than that. It's so simple. Wisdom is simple. Okay, it's simple. As long as you be, do, and have, and then you give back. There must be service in that formula. Somehow you're giving back to the world, the planet, to others. That's part of a formula. You know, I mean, I don't think you're going to disagree. You know, there is a formula. It's a wise formula, millions of years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's how to light your heart on fire. So we could do another one another time, but
Yeah, let's do it. I think we're all still here an hour and 20 minutes later, you know, hour and a half later. So I would have felt very lucky to get you for 30 minutes. I mean, this has just been amazing. So we're so grateful. You know, there's a reason why, you know, why Derek has achieved what he has. You know, a business in 13 plus countries, $1 million circle member. And I think one thing you said at a Team Elite University one time is that one of the greatest gifts of Nu Skin is the person you become in the process. You talked about how you grow to have just a beautiful heart, is the way that you put it. You know, and it's a lot of people think, you know, that, you know, they'll just work, grind their face off, sacrifice all their relationships and happiness and everything, get to success. But it's really, you know, it's what you're experiencing. Your results are a reflection of what's going on the inside, of who you are on the inside. And Derek just taught us very beautifully tonight how to change that. So let's all apply it and, you know, keep moving forward. So
I think that's a good start.
Perfect.
There's more later. Yeah. All right. Back to you guys. Okay.
Thank you guys. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Cheers. All right.
Bye. Thank you, Derek.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Take care.